Hey guys, it's Ryan with Fluid Health and Fitness, bringing you another exercise today. We're going to be focusing on shoulder retractions from a seated position. What we're working on is regional control here. Remember, you got 4 regions in the body. You got your upper regions, your shoulder joint, and you got your lower regions, your hip joints. And what we're going to be working on is shoulder retraction. And again, this is a regional control position for what would be swing or non-load bearing mechanics. So again, if you're familiar with our proximal distal sequencing model, that'll make sense. Questions on it, admin@fluidhealthandfitness.com. But ultimately what we're really trying to do is create appropriate shoulder glide for when our body would be on a swing side of our gait cycle. So the shoulder would retract behind us, our arm would extend, and we want to see the ability of the body to properly support that by maintaining enough intra-abdominal and thoracic pressure. So we use our inner unit musculature to support that bolus of air inside of us to create this thoracic expansion that makes our trunk more male. So again, more convexed, more round. And then I glide the shoulder blades around that round ball. So it's going to be a breath in to expand from behind, open my back. Fill up the back by holding the ab tone so the pressure goes behind me. And then I'm going to glide the shoulders around that ball and then use the traps to glide the shoulders back without buckling in my lower back and losing the ab tone. So oftentimes we don't have enough passive resistance to stretch in our abs. When we pull back, it stretches, the ribs flare, and there's no resistance for our traps to get stronger. So then our shoulders have a tendency to migrate forward and they're always dumping forward. So we have to have sufficient abdominal tension to adequately leverage the trapezius so they can get strong enough to hold the shoulders back without using synergists like your lower rectors to do so. So what we're going to do today is get you in a seated position. You want a partial spinal flexed position, so you are flexing over. I'm using a piece of TheraBand here. It's a heavier duty one, but you can use any kind of band really. The idea here is that you're going to learn how to move the shoulders independent of the arm. So the first thing is to set your canister, get all the air out, tense your abs down. Now you're going to breathe into the canister without losing your ab tension. If you do so, the expansion should take place on the back of your back. So I fill up the trunk. I can feel the expansion and the pressure on the back of my ribs. Now with that ab tone there and circumferential expansion around my thorax, I'm going to set my shoulders back into retraction and then move the arm from a stable shoulder joint. Now the intent is to pull back fairly deep so you can get some good stretch out of those pecs. Now as you get to the bottom of that position, you're going to breathe all the air out first without losing the contraction between the shoulder blades. You're going to get your ribs to depress down. That's going to stretch your pecs and your biceps and your elbow flexors. Now you're going to hold it back against that stretch tone so they don't buckle. Now if I breathe out and my shoulders buckle forward and my elbows roll in, well, that's a good indicator that as the ribs drop and it stretches through those muscles, they're too stiff and you don't have enough stretch resistance back there on the traps to hold it back. It's going to show up in your poor posture when you're moving. So we're going to try to resist that. So hold the ab wall, breathe in, retract, pull back deep so the band pulls against the sternum without breaking the ab tone. Breathe all the air out. Get to the bottom of the breath with the shoulders retracted and slowly let the shoulders migrate away from the spine. So that's a scapular protraction. That's not a humeral adduction. Remember, we want to know the difference between the shoulders gliding forward or back and the arms moving back or forward. We have to move through the interdependencies of those segments to get better control over the region. That's the goal here, better coordination of shoulder mechanics. So hold the crunch, breath in, shoulders back, pull through without losing the ab tone, fully stretch the pecs, breathe all the air out, stretch the pecs further. Again, control the shoulder glide away from the spine about 20 degrees and don't go further. Finish the movement, start over again, breath out, pelvic floor, breath in. Set the shoulders, move the limb behind you, pack the scapula, breathe all the air out, stretch the ribs downward or pull the ribs downward, stretching the pecs. Keep the pinch and slowly let the shoulders come forward. So once again, you're just holding the abdominal tension, breathing in, setting the canister, retracting the shoulders, pulling back against it so you get a full stretch without depressing the shoulders forward. Hold it there. Get all the air out. Full stretch through the pec as the ribs depress, and then just glide the shoulders forward about 20 degrees without moving the arm. So you would repeat that again, typically about 20 times. And once again, we're just working on the controlled shoulder retraction without buckling and losing the abdominal tone. So you're fixating the trunk down with the abs so you can get full leverage for the trapezius and really activate and get those stronger, especially the lower mid trapezius. Questions on any of it, admin@fluidhealthandfitness.com. Get after it.